presented by Street Smart Society. As always, graphic design, graphic arts, or video editing, you need to hit up Street Smart Society LLC on Facebook or streetsmartsociety.com. Y'all know what time it is. It is Who and What Time. And for me personally, it's going to be one of my favorite ones. The Who in the building is Jake Weiser, up-and-coming producer, videographer, singer, rapper, alternative rocker now. This man's multi-talented all over the place, and he's fluent at it. That's why I'm geeked about this. One of the highest reviewed mixtapes / EPs on our show history, I think. I gave him like a 4 or 5, I think. I forget what James gave him.
We gave 4 or 5.
4 or 5s.
So
thank you for coming through, my man.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me, guys.
So, well, first for me, let us look at this. The Mortal Kombat tattoo.
Oh, yeah, you guys peeped that shit.
Okay, Scorpion.
Yeah, I got Raiden up there, too.
Holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
So, you big into this, I can see.
Oh, dude, the story behind this, man, is like I had a really shitty ass home tat behind this originally.
Right.
And I was 18 when I got this tattoo, and it was supposed to be a dove flying and shit with clouds behind it. But then when I looked in the mirror, it looked like a fucking turkey that was pregnant. And it was just super bad, man. I was at first, I was like, oh yeah, this is dope. As I got older, man, I was like, oh yeah, this gotta go. So I got Mortal Kombat just because it was one of my favorite childhood games growing up on the Sega and everything like that. And
right.
Just growing up while I was playing video games. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get something that resembles my childhood.
Okay. I just need to get that out the way because I looked over and I was like, holy shit.
Oh yeah, dude, I appreciate it, man.
But back to the regular line of questioning. Let everybody know where you're from, your affiliations throughout the city real quick.
I'm actually from a small town called Baden, Pennsylvania. It's about 35 minutes from Pittsburgh. I grew up in basically fucking Economy, which is Baden zip code still.
I know more about the Economy.
Yeah, Beaver County wise, but it's a small town, man. It's just not too many people are doing the music out there type wise as much as Pittsburgh is, but there are a few that people should watch out for in there because there's some talent in Beaver County as well as Pittsburgh.
Let's say a second. I like this because we dabble out in that area a lot. I have a lot of connections.
Yeah, Quiddle. Yeah, he's I went to school with him and everything, man. He's definitely good people, and he's taking his shit to the next level.
So, what was the first thing you got into? Was it the music, the production, videography?
Well, it started whenever I was super young, man. I had a friend that I was growing up with, and him and his brother rapped all the time just for shits and giggles and just freestyle and all like that. So I thought it was cool, And like I said, I was about 13, and so I wanted to get real into how to record and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I bought when I started recording, I used this program called Audacity, which is free as hell, but it's shitty software.
Okay.
And then what I did was I used a Guitar Hero mic, and then I literally went on this program with no I didn't even mix it, dude. Just had raw vocals and everything, and everything was just super shitty. But that's when I first got into it, and as time grew on, I was just buying equipment, upgrading there and shit like that, and actually learning how to mix, and then switching different softwares. But honestly, I haven't really gotten to the producing until this year actually, or last year about, and then yeah, but I'm just growing, man. That's pretty much all it is right now.
So the videography, you doing that a lot, or is that?
Oh yeah, man. It's fun to do whenever you're working with certain people, that actually are striving for success and actually want it. But it's it has its downs and ups. For the most part, it is super fun. Super fun.
What would you consider your favorite video that you've shot?
My favorite video that I shot, it was for Ups Mosley and Charlie Massey.
Shout out to them dudes.
Yeah, they're super dope people, and they're chill as fuck. And that video I just took it to the extreme. I just honestly wanted to impress them with what I could do. So I literally spent probably maybe a week or maybe even a couple of days on it. But I was working as soon as I got up on it. As soon as I got up from bed, worked on it till 8 o'clock at night. Take breaks, but I just wanted to, like I said, man, I just wanted to impress them with what I really could do and shit because they are super dope people.
Oh, they're definitely cool guys, friends of the show. Let's say that's definitely dope, man. Because we do fuck with those guys pretty heavy.
Oh yeah, man, yeah, because Ups was up here, right? Wasn't
they both?
Oh, they both were. Okay,
let's say Ups did the
Cypher. Yeah.
So
yeah, Ups is shout out Ups and Charlie Massey, y'all dope.
Shout out to y'all.
So so from there, like, what would you think is your favorite thing to do? The music, production, or the videography?
Well, music is definitely number one, man. Just because it's like I like staying productive with the music because it's just like I just came a long way with everything, and it's I don't know, man. Music just always been there for me whenever shit was going down south.
From the outside looking in, from what your social media shows, it seems like you're doing so much of the videography and the production now that you might not get the time to do the music like you usually do.
Yeah, that was a big. I was literally thinking the same at some point, you know. But then, you know, like times got rough. I had to sell the equipment, had to get a car, and then right now the videos are on hold. Unless y'all want to book me, I'll rent out the equipment still, you know.
Right.
And then, yeah, but for now, right now, like music is probably like number one priority as we speak now.
Yeah.
So what got you into music? Who was like your influence music-wise?
Oh, man, I used to listen to a lot of old school shit, man, like fucking Ice Cube and shit like that. Like always with my boys smoking in the garage, listening to like Pimp C, Ice Cube, just all the oldies, man. And then, like I said, my boys were freestyling around me, and I just wanted to get into it, you know. And then I never would have thought that it would like took me this far,
right,
to see like, because I always thought it would just been something I'd just brush off like down the line type shit. But then, you know, it's like I used to suck so bad, man. Like it's funny because like people would just fucking make fun of me when I was coming up, but the same people that were hating back then are the same people now that are congratulating me and let me know that, hey, man, I see the progression. You know, you're doing well for yourself. Like,
right.
well, you know, like when you take the time and you don't stop doing what you like doing, you know, like practice does make perfect. Absolutely. So like, if you're really serious about it and you want to do it just for like the love of it, like there's no way of going down south from there, you know.
Right.
Like you're gonna get better regardless if you keep doing it.
I understand. That's definitely dope. What about the outside of hip hop stuff that like influences you? Because that's a big thing I've noticed with you. Like
other like mainstream artists likewise. Like,
well, just like what, like, because I know like you obviously listen to more than rap. Like what would be the other influences outside of rap?
I mean, I listen to a lot of like rock. You know, like I grew up off in like AC/DC,
Okay.
Johnny Cash, Nirvana, and like the first like hip hop like shit that I like really listened to as a kid was like Limp Bizkit. Like if you guys consider that like rap, I don't know.
I know, just they got a lane. Yeah, they're part of history. I mean,
yeah, but I was like super young, man. Then I went off the Marshall Mathers like album from Eminem.
Right.
But that was like, man, I don't even know how my parents got that for me, man, because I was so fucking young whenever.
I think we all had that moment with Eminem at some point.
Yeah, man, it's fucking, that shit was like intense now thinking back to it, that we're all older and shit. But
I can say personally, it was because of the music video. My mom saw the music video where he dressed up as Superman, and then she liked it in my closet.
Mm-hmm,
and she bought me a CD, and she was like, you could listen to like, she tried to tell me what number tracks I could listen to. And that went away like real quickly. I think I found like "Say What You Say" with Dr. Dre, and that was it. So I definitely understand what you mean. Where your parents thought they were doing something. There was this gray area where like Eminem was the most raunchy thing out, but for some reason there were some things they thought was cool to listen to.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, man. Raunchy as fuck. It's like, yeah, like you said, like in my closet was a really good. So I remember sitting down. I was like getting ready for school and shit, watching the music video on MTV. And yeah, man, like
that don't happen no more.
Yeah, man, I don't even know what Eminem's doing right now. He just dropped an album. It was so. I really can't.
I haven't had a chance to listen to it.
It's good, man.
I listened to the joint.
Different.
I listened to the 2 singles and I listened to the remix of the one joint with 2 Chainz because I noticed that was weird, but I was waiting for that track. Whenever it came out, the 2 Chainz was probably on the CD and then he wasn't on it. I was like, I kind of want to hear how good 2 Chainz could be with him.
Yeah. 2 Chainz can fucking kill any feature, man. I swear on everything. He
killed that joint. Though.
Yeah, dude. 2 Chainz is the man. Shout out to 2 Chainz.
So so what's the moves now since you since the last project has been wrapped up? Like you.
Well, I recently moved into my own place, so I got everything situated there. I'm actually like helping like some friends, like my one buddy. He's actually working on an album right now.
Okay.
His name's Dom, so I'm helping him mixing it and everything, getting that finished for him. But I do plan on dropping something after I get done with him. I plan on I already just started the first song for my shit yesterday. It's pretty mellow, man. I'll probably post some sneak peeks here in a couple of days here. But other than that, yeah, like I don't know what direction I'm gonna go with this one. But I don't know, I just want to make something just super dope. You know, something that can like lean off like the last project that I just dropped.
So how you want to talk a little bit about that project?
Yeah, man, I'm down to open up and let you guys know like the whole like inside of it if you guys are wondering about it.
I mean, I feel like you gave us a lot of yourself on it, but I don't feel like I understand the full grasp without speaking to you.
Yeah, man. Well, album's called The Steiner. It's a form of depression. It's another form of depression, mild form. And which made me really do it. Like, I have a girlfriend named Courtney. Shout out to you, baby. She is diagnosed with bipolar and depression. And, I have like social anxiety and like major anxiety at some points in my life, Like I grew up, the album basically was seeing what she goes through and like parts of my life that like happened bad for me. Cause like I lived at my parents' house for like a good bit of my life. And like, they're just like negative people. Like, like they're just they don't wish success on nobody, like they're just in their own little bubble type wise. So dealing with that my whole life and growing up to see what kind of people they really were and seeing what like the events that they put me into my life, that was kind of another form of me getting shit out. Like me, like I know I spit some dark shit on there.
Yes.
And I said some really dark shit, but like I love my life. I ain't never gonna I ain't the suicidal type of person.
Cool,
but like
I was worried about that.
Yeah, I do. But those what I said though is some shit in some songs, like it's basically just feelings and emotions that I had at one point in my life, just getting it all out there type wise, if that makes sense. And then it was just basically something to like just speak to the world, because like depression is like really serious. People don't really like look at it that way in life, because like the truth is like the world really don't give a fuck about your feelings. It's hard to sit down and talk to somebody, especially like with friends. You don't want to like talk about your feelings to certain people because like they don't really give a fuck really. Like, they'll try to say some shit, they like try to cheer you up, but it's like, most days like nobody really cares.
Or they'll say some shit to try to like sweep it under the rug and move on type shit.
Yeah, exactly. And so yeah, depression is definitely a big thing in life, and like people really should like look at it differently, instead of like just throwing it like to the side and not thinking that's a real thing.
So I know I'm gonna get the track wrong, but was it Forget or Falling that you had it was like the intro monologue at the beginning of the track?
Oh yeah, that was Falling. Yeah.
Like I said, that one was interesting because that was the one where I actually sat there and listened to what was that you speaking on that, or was that?
Yeah, we got a dialogue off of this one guy who does speeches for like who like has severe depression and shit like that. Yeah.
That was. I mean, like I said, I've never been ignorant to that type of stuff. That's something just from the people I've been around growing up, I look into it and look at that stuff differently. But listening to that, it was just more like you said, like we see other illnesses that are like in front of us that you could see or document. And it's like, all right, we feel bad for that person. But when you can't see what they're going on mentally, you don't have the same.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah. And it's just like, like I wanted to just make it known that like, people do have feelings, and people like it just needs to be brought out that like depression is a real thing, whether you think it is or not.
Yeah.
And like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I do have one thing on the album. So listening to the album and looking at the track list before I peeped it, I kind of like knew, because I think I peeped like a few tracks before I went through and listened to it all the way that it was going to be a little darker. But I read the track list. It was like, all right, Sunshine's going to be the track that's going to be.
That's where I kind of like my feeling about the album is like you go through it, it doesn't go really up ever. It feels like it goes down, but it brings you back where you were, and it doesn't feel like because I feel like some albums like you start somewhere and then you end either at a high or you end low, but it felt like I was just still there. So you kind of gave me that mild depression feel, kind of like the atmosphere from because I didn't feel like I follow up with like I feel enlightened. You know, I'm like things are gonna get better. It just never felt like it was. So I mean, the album like had like what your name was. Like,
it was almost like a theme.
Yeah, and like that's basically what me and Kyle did, man. Shout out to Kyle, by the way, Know the Natural, man. He's a fucking excellent producer, man. Like I called him up when I thought about this idea. It was literally right whenever XXXTentacion dropped his 17 album.
Yeah.
And it was basically on the same concept type shit. So I called him up and I was like, dude, like, I'm really wanting to make something like this for a while now. It's like, I just feel like I got a lot of shit to say, get some shit off my chest. And he was super down with it. He thought it was a great idea. Like, let's do that. Cause like he enjoys like making music that's like more on like the melody side and like realness, especially if it has a message. So we basically want to just turn it into like a whole like theme, basically, like story wise a little bit as well too. So like nothing like you said, like fucking the name, the style, just like dude, there's nothing good about that album. Everything's gonna be sad as fuck, and everything's just like nothing's gonna be up about that album whatsoever.
But you're right, the aesthetic though, like even though none of these songs might be like uplifting, but when I hear like Cross My Heart, just how you go into it, like it's just you get the feeling of it. Like you have a way of getting people to feel that stuff.
I appreciate that. Much love.
Like that. Please Don't. RIP is definitely one of my favorite tracks. I listen to RIP almost every other day.
Thank you.
Like I said, the track that was probably the standout for no positive or negative to it was The Rain. Like I said, The Rain was the one where I'm listening to this. I'm like, this is almost like what you said, alt rock, almost even country.
Yeah,
and I still fuck with it heavy though.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, that's like one of my favorite tracks of that, man. That and Forget, which Mo is featured on the hook on that one. Yeah, right. He got pipes, man, that nobody even knows about, man. Like, this dude, like, can kill shit.
And then the only other track I wanted to actually speak about was the last track, I Hate Myself. Because I listened to that one almost as much as RIP, but that one's the one where I'm like, where did that track come from?
Basically, like, the track I Hate Myself, we figured to put that last because it was just like, after everything that was going on throughout the whole track, we're just like, all right, let's end it with this one. That's the outro. Just because, like, after all the bullshit that I dealt with in my life, man, it was just like all like the gaslighting that was going on through like my parents' house. And then just like, I made that track just basically because like it seems like everyone always puts the blame on me other than themselves. Right. So it was just more like that was like the type of direction I was going with that track. So it was like we put that last just because we went through all these other tracks. You listen to them, they have a kind of story, up and down type shit, but really it was always staying down. And then the Hate Myself was just like, all right, well, fuck everything, like, this is it.
And then the only other one, and I know this one's, I'm definitely going to forget what's the name of the track. My Only One was about your girlfriend?
Oh, My Only One, fuck. I'm trying to think how that one goes to me, because I don't even listen to my own shit. Like, I literally drop it and then I'll go through it a couple times and then I'll just stop listening to it. I'm trying to think how that. It
was like
goes.
The one where you were talking about the girl that was popping pills and stuff.
Oh yeah. Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay, basically My Only One was basically I was in a relationship with this girl for like 3 years through high school, and all she did was like didn't give a fuck about school. She just wanted to go home and just pop Xanax and pop pills and shit like that. So it was like basically like that was like towards the direction where I was going with that song. Okay. So it was like. I dated this girl when I was like 14 all the way up until like fucking 11th grade, almost graduating type shit. So, yeah, I made that about that. And then, that's where that came from, basically. Okay. Just like some like rough feelings from that shit from the past.
I understand. You got any questions you got on this, James?
You caught me off guard. So for your future, what is the music you're gonna feature now? Like dabble, like what do you think that's gonna be kind of like? Are you gonna try to do more like actual live instruments or something?
Well, what I want to do, I definitely like for live performances. I have a couple buddies of mine who like play like fucking drums and guitar and shit like that. So I definitely, for live performances, definitely want to try to get into that range of having like a whole band set up.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, like the music that I want to create now, I still want to make sad ass music just because I want to like, because after making that album, I had so many people message me saying like this shit got them through rough times in their life. And like that meant so much to me that it was like the biggest achievement in my life to like, you know, make music to where someone can relate and actually like get through some shit with it, you know?
Right.
So I still want to make like real music, but keep it like less sad than that album, because that album was pretty dark, man. Like, you know, it was definitely a dark album. But I still want to make some real shit. Like the song that I just produced for the first album right now, I did the other night, and I put a sample. I don't know if you guys ever seen Basketball Diaries with Leonardo DiCaprio.
I remember that. Yeah.
Well, I put a sample in it whenever his mom was like, and when Leonardo DiCaprio was banging on his mom's apartment door on heroin, like he was a heroin fiend and shit, so he was like begging for money. So this whole song that I'm making now is like about like the opioid fucking epidemic and shit like that that's going around, like because everyone hears it on the news, dude, man. Like heroin's spreading and killing people left and right. So basically, the song that I'm making is like just gonna be real about people like that, like fucking abuse heroin type shit.
Okay.
I mean, that's a good message. I mean, that's a solid. I mean, you're very against it. I mean, you're very outspoken about that.
Hell yeah, man! Thank you.
So that's very good positive. I'd rather people not be, you know, on some wild shit. You know, that's You can't be like that. Gets you too far down deep, and that gets you into like even further depression.
Oh, dude,
it's not, but
it's definitely because dude, there was a point in time, man, where I was like a big alcoholic type of dude. Like, you know, drank every single fucking day of my life, was not productive with anything. But now, like, I'm older and like I got past that stage. I still drink, but I'm more in control of myself when I drink. You know, so I'm like more productive now. Like I'm not fucking slacking off, just getting drunk and just doing fucking dumb shit. No, I still drink, but I'm in control of my life now.
Yeah.
Okay. Off the music, you had anything you interested in sports? Any type of media?
Honestly, I don't even watch TV. I work a 9-to-5 job. I come home and I just work on music. That's pretty much all I do. I mean, if I hear sports talk, you know, it'll be at work.
Right.
Yeah. So like mainly, dude, I just come home after my 9-to-5, and I'm like, like I said, time is the most valuable thing you have. So, you know, like I just want to just be steady working on something that I want. You know, like I'm just hungry at this point.
Okay. With features, I noticed. I think it was with Noah. You seem to you have a transition, and I like the transition. Like you when you're solo, but you can snap out when you get featured. I've noticed.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, no, like good topic, man. Because like I can do like whatever you want me to do, but it's like, you know, there's like like you said, but no, like you wanted me on a song, I got on it, but you know, like I want to stay in more towards like the melodic side of things and singing wise, because that's what I enjoy to do. Like I started off just rapping, you know, but like I always like try to do what like the next big thing was, you know, like try to like I tried doing the trap shit, man. That shit just isn't for me.
Right.
Like I tried doing that trap rap, man. Like other people can do it, and you know, like, hey, more power to you. But that shit just ain't me, man. And it just doesn't feel right. So that where I'm at right now just feels right. So I'm just trying to stay where I'm at right now.
I understand. Is there anybody in the city you haven't worked with that you like to work with, or not just the city, like nationwide, anybody?
I would love to work with like Walkman, man, just like on a hook or something, like a feature hook, chorus wise.
That is so. If you really want that, that's something I feel like we can get done for you. If that's something that you really want to do.
Like I definitely would. Man. He's super dope.
No hook necessary. I think he'd be cool with it.
Yeah, he's super dope, man. He's like, you know, I never met him in person, dude, but like, you know, I chatted with him on Facebook. He seems like a super dope person. So like, yeah, I love to work with him, man. But it's like, other than like artists that I look up to now, dude, is like, fucking, I found this one dude right before, like, I don't know if you know who Cole Bennett is, like, but he like does like the hottest music videos for like the upcoming artists, and he's like the best videographer in the game right now.
Okay.
So I found this one dude on SoundCloud, man. Like he had a good following, but like, you know, I never heard of him. His name's Juice WRLD, and
I've heard of him.
Yeah, well, he just came out with a song directed by Cole Bennett called "All Girls Are the Same," and I heard like some of his tracks, man. Like And like, I was just like, dude, I guarantee you this dude's gonna fucking blow. Like, I fucking just feel it. I know it. And then, what do you know? Cole Bennett, like a couple months later, directed his like fucking video, dude. Booms. Like, he was already popping as it is, but I didn't know of him. Cole Bennett just made him like 10 times even popping, you know? So he's definitely like Post Malone too. He's a big influence that I have right now. Like, and like, but like, as far as like the mainstream go, man, like I really don't listen too much mainstream, like, cause I'm just steady working on what ideas I want to do, you know?
Okay.
Just to get to that level, if that makes sense.
You got any show plans coming up?
I think I do. C-Runner, yeah, fucking, he invited me to this show, I think, on the 13th of June. And
Happy you said June, because I'm like, he was just questionable about an April 13th
concert. Yeah, he said he wanted on the, I think, the 26th or the 23rd, but then it got switched to the 13th, I think. So he's having me there with like Norman Dean and like other people and shit too. So it's a good lineup what he sent me. So I was like, it's been a while since I performed, man, because I was on house arrest for like 3 months and shit. So I really couldn't get out and do much. And then this would be like the first show in like almost like fucking half a year, maybe.
That's interesting. I mean, I noticed other artists. This is interesting. You said Norman Dean, because Norman's somebody I look at like you, who's doing a lot of other things in music at the same time.
Yeah, Norman Dean's dope, dude. Like he's getting in the game right now. You know, hard work never goes unnoticed, man.
Anything else?
You interested in do like maybe a dope production or something, like dope collab with the producing or something with people, or?
I mean, right now, man, like the only producers that I can like really like, I really truly fuck with is like Mo the Natural, Kyle, and then I do fuck with Ian Patrick Hill, and then I also fuck with Tony Marco Beats. I did a 2 songs with him, and he's pretty legit, man. I've seen the progression from him since the beginning, and so did he with me. And I actually like collabed with homie from London, goes by Milk Boy. Like he makes some fucking sick beats too, man. Like, so I guess he said that I'm in his group now. Like it's called the Mage Boys. So like, and all the people that are on the lineup, man, like they're dope. Like they make like the same type of style of music that I do. So it's just like it all fits perfect. So like I've been messaging each and one trying to get a collab going, like, you know. So I think we're about to be working on some dope shit. To be honest, like it's gonna be sick.
No, last thing, ghostwriting. How about that? I just recently.
Oh, dude, yeah. Some dude hit me up on Facebook, man. He was asking me all these like questions because he wanted to get into recording and shit. So he was asking me like what all equipment to buy, like a good budget. So I told him, you know, my input on things with what to get if you're like at a budget and everything. So then he hits me up and he's like, hey man, like, did you ghostwrite for me? And I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Like, I was like, I never did before, but I mean, like, if you want, like, I'm actually working on it right now. Like, still like taking the time just to like write him shit because he's like, his influences are like Post Malone and Nav, I think. Nav.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, he sent me beats that I would fuck with. So I fucked with the one. So like, I'm in the process of writing it for him like right now. Like, I just told him it's going to take some time, dude. Like, you know.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was a dope feeling, man. Just for someone to hit me up and like ask me that, you know, like, cause it's just like, all right, dude, like, fuck yeah, I'll do it. Like, you know, never did it before, but let's go for it.
Before I forget, Ian Patrick Hill, you were supposed to come in with Walkman and do this taste test, man. I'm still waiting for you to come in here and eat this food. I mean, you get the interview with it too, but I feel like you was excited about doing this taste test, so I need you to get through here too.
Shout out Ian, man, too. He's super dope people as well.
But so are you fully transitioning out of rap?
Nah, man, it's gonna be like with the alternative side, man. I'm still gonna add that hip hop flavor to it, you know, like the rap side of things, but just transitioning into different things, man. Just trying it out, you know, because like I'm just want to be like comfortable with what I'm doing instead of like trying to do something that like I'm not comfortable with, you know.
All right, I understand that.
Last, before we wrap it up, could you give us the shout out to all your social sites we can get you at before we hit up our next segment real soon? The part.
Yeah, fucking social media, you know, you can look me up on Facebook at Jake Weiser, and then Instagram is what I've been using a lot lately, official _ Jake Weiser. And that's basically it. I don't fuck with Snapchat or nothing like that. But if you want to reach out to IG, like I always respond. So just hit me up. SoundCloud too, Jake Weiser. And Spotify as well, Jake Weiser. So I'm out on everything. So just look up Jake Weiser.
Oh no, thank you as always, man. And for real, man, he's everywhere, man. And he's on Google Play too, man. I've just peeped that. That's why I was looking up all the tracklist stuff.
Shit, I don't even know anybody use fucking Google Play, man.
We use Google Hangouts here on
No, but for real, thank you guys for having me. It's really been a pleasure. I appreciate everything from you guys.
I'm happy you're happy now. When he comes back from break, he might not be as happy, y'all. We'll be right back here on Unfiltered GMOY Radio, y'all. Thank you.